Hello. Keyword outline. Howdy, I'm Braco Dia, and the belief I want to talk about that change from high school to college is studying, in my view of studying. In high school, I did not believe studying was important. I believed I could fly by, do my own smarts, and I did. I kind of rocked it. I built some bad habits in high school in my view to studying, and college showed me there's levels to the game of studying, and and I've learned something throughout college, talking to some of my friends who get 4.0 GPAs in Cal 2 physics, that they study, and they studied way more than I studied. So, my old belief, essentially wrapped up in a nutshell, that I talked about earlier, is that studying was not important. Studying something that I did not have to do, and because of that, that belief was never challenged throughout high school. It never was once really challenged. Maybe on my SAT, it was challenged a little bit, but in reality, it was barely challenged when it came to classes. I could fly by, get a 90 on my test just by doing what? Maybe a 30-minute YouTube video before class, before the test, and that built a lot of overconfidence in myself that I came to find out was I was in for a surprise when I get to college. Because man, college classes are way harder, way harder and way faster paced, and they build on top of each other. What you covered in test 1 will be on test 3 and the final. So you really have to be fully prepared for everything. Unlike in high school where it's just this test is about this and it barely builds on. No, it stacks on top of each other. And because of it stacking on top of each other, that causes you have to be able to apply that knowledge from previous tests to another test and apply it in different ways. You can't it's not really memorization, it's application that's important. And that's where studying comes in handy. You can learn something in class and memorize it, but can you apply it? That's where the gap begins. And because I didn't know how to study and I got poor test results my first year in college, that caused a lot of built-up test anxiety to form in me. And I was anxious about test day. But because of this struggles, I gained a new belief, which was that studying is vital. Studying is something that everyone should do, including me, especially me, going through the struggles I did my first year in college. Studying builds understanding. Understanding is what takes you from being able to memorize some material to apply that material. An application, especially on physics and Cal 2 tests, is where it matters the most. It builds confidence. When you can walk into the test room and know, man, I got this. This won't be any struggle for me. That is where you see those A's start to fly in. You get a 95, like, yeah, I can do that. You walk into the test room knowing that you have prepared to the max of your capabilities. And it builds discipline. And this discipline is going to be useful later down the road in life, but especially in the classroom. It builds the discipline to keep studying and keep building upon the material you've learned. But in conclusion, my old belief was wrong. My old belief of studying was completely wrong. I should never have taken this naive approach, but high school did its thing to me. It lowered my bar or expectations of how difficult a class could be. But college showed me there's levels to this. But I've learned from my friends and my own personal experience that studying is the wise thing to do. If you study, you're wise. If you don't study, you're unwise. And that's essentially it in a nutshell. Studying is what smart people do. Studying is what the dumb people do. And if you don't study, you'll be one of the people who just flunk out of college. And studying is what prepares you to have success. You cannot have success without studying. And studying builds the preparation needed to have success in all of your classes. Thanks, Gigam. God bless.